What is given in this question? N is a positive integer and then n cube minus n is divisible by, right? Now, what you need to do? You can write n cube minus n as n into n square minus 1, right? Which is nothing but n minus 1, n plus 1. Now, looking into this, you can understand that these are three consecutive numbers, right? So at least one of the number must be a multiple of 3 and one of the number will be an even number. So you can conclude that this number is always divisible by 6, right? So one of the number is a multiple of 3, one of the number will be an even number. So you can conclude that this number will be always divisible by 6. Okay, now how will you solve this question? You can write it as a is equal to k plus 4. You know that it is divisible by 7, right? It is divisible by 7. B is equal to k plus 2n, which is also divisible by 7, right? So do one thing, take b minus a, you will get it as 2n minus 4, okay, which is also divisible by 7, okay? All these are divisible by 7, right? Now 2n minus 4 is divisible by 7. What does it mean? What are the possible numbers? 0, 7, 14, etc, 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 right? So any of this can be the number, but if you need to get a minimum integral value of n, it should be 14, okay? So if you need to get a minimum integral value of n, it should be 14. 7 is not possible, 0 is not possible. So basically 2n minus 4 is equal to 14, and from this you can understand n is equal to 9. Now what is given? This number 774958A96B, right? This number is divisible by 8 and 9, and then you need to find the values of A and B, right? So if you divide this number by 8, you get remainder 0. If you divide by this number by 9, then also you get remainder 0. So this is based on the divisibility of 8 and 9, right? So you know the divisibility rule of 8 and 9, based on that you can find the answer. So what is the divisibility of 9? What you will do, you will have to see the sum of digits, right? Now if you take the sum of digits except A, B, you get 55, right? If you add everything, you will get 55. So what will be the next higher multiple of 9? After 55, that will be 63 or 72. From that you can understand that A plus B will be either 8 or 17, okay? So because if you get 8, you'll get 63. If you get 17, you'll get 72. Now no other possible numbers are there, right? Because you need to satisfy this condition also. So here it is 63 and 72 are the next higher multiples of 9. So 8 and 17 are possible. So you can directly eliminate A and C. A is not possible, C is not possible. Now what we need to do is we need to check the divisibility of 8, right? What is it? What is the divisibility of 8? You will check the last 3 digits, right? So last 3 digits, but the number is starting with 96, right? So you are looking for 96B. So number starting with 96, what are the numbers which is divisible by 8? You need to see, right? 960 and 968. These two are possible, right? So in the end, you can have values 0 and 8. So B can be 0 or 8, right? Now, what is the first condition that we got? A plus B is equal to 8 or 17, right? So this is not possible now. So A plus B is equal to 8. A plus B is 8 means, see, A can also be now 0 or 8, right? So B can be 0 or 8. A also can be 0 or 8, okay? So this combination is possible. AB is equal to 0, 8 or 8, 0. This combination is possible, right? So what is your answer? So you'll mark B as your answer. Now, next question. What is given? N is an odd number greater than 1, right? So, N is odd greater than 1. Then N into N square minus 1 will be divisible by 48, 96, 24 or none of these. Okay, these are the options. So, okay, before that, let me tell you one thing. If you look into this option, first is 96 divisible by 96, then 48, then 24, right? So, one thing that you need to understand is if it is divisible by 96, then it must be divisible by 48 and 24 because 48 and 24 are factors of 96. So, if a number is divisible by 96, it must be divisible by 48 and 24, right? Okay, so directly you can here more than one option is not possible. So, directly you can eliminate this two. Now your answer is either 24 or none of these, right? So based on this only, you can, if you need to confine to two options, this is one way in which you can confine to two options. Otherwise, how will you solve it? You will split this n square minus 1 as n plus 1 into n minus 1. Then you will write it as n minus 1, n and n plus 1. Now if you observe this, you understand that these are three consecutive natural numbers, right? These are three consecutive numbers. And here, since n is an odd number, this is an even number, this is an even number. You understood that this n minus 1 is an even number, n plus 1 is an even number. Why? Because it is given that n is an odd number, right? Which is greater than 1. So here is an even number, here is an even number. So you got two consecutive even numbers, right? So two consecutive even number means one is a multiple of 4. One will be a multiple of 4, right? So one is two even numbers are there. One is a multiple of 4. And 1 is an even number, so it is a multiple of 2. So 1 is a multiple of 4 and 1 is another even number. So this number is divisible by 8 always, because 1 will be definitely a multiple of 4 and 1 is an even number, so it must be divisible by 8 always, right? Now when you take three consecutive numbers, one of them will be a multiple of 3. Since you got here as 8, right, and you also understood that one of them will be a multiple of 3, this number will be divisible by the product of 3 into 8, that is 24, right? So you can mark C as your answer. You got the logic. What we have done here, we understood that this is given n is an odd number greater than 1, right? So we expanded this n square minus 1 into n plus 1 into n minus 1, right? So we have written that, so you understood that these are three consecutive numbers. So since n is an odd number, we understood that these two are even numbers, right? So when two consecutive even numbers are there, we know that one of them will be divisible by 4, and then when there are two consecutive even numbers, this product must be divisible by 8 also, right? So then other thing is, when three consecutive numbers are given, one of them will be a multiple of 3, right? So that is clearly understood. So one is multiple of 8 and one is multiple of 3 means it will be divisible by 24, right? We'll take it as the answer. Okay, what is the next question? Next question is, how many 5-digit number can be formed, right? 5-digit number can be formed such that it must be divisible by 125, right? And based on how many digits, you have also given 5 digits, right? 2, 3, 8, 7, 5. So this is a question where divisibility rule is also applicable. At the same time, combination is also working here, right? So let's see how to get the answer, right? How will you approach it? See, first of all, you need to know the divisibility rule of 125. So basically a 5-digit number is divisible by 125 if the last 3 digits are divisible by 125. So if that is the case, let's see what are the last 3 digits possible, right? So 125, then 250, then 375, 500, 625, 750, 875, then 1000. So these are the, so you leave this. So these are the possible last 3 digits which we can have, and based on the numbers which is given, we can get these two digits. These are the two possibilities, right? So we understood that we need to get last 3 digits as either 375 or 875. So we understood that last 2 digits is anyway fixed, right? So if you have 5 digits, this 2 digits is fixed. So you have only one way to get this, right? Now we need to fix this, right? How many ways you can do that? You have two numbers, right? So you have 2 factorial ways, right? Any of them can be used to fill this, right? So you have 2 ways, and how many ways you can fix this, right? Now you have, because let's suppose you are using 3 here, right? You have 1 left out, right? 8 is left out. Then you have a combination of 2 and 8. So how many ways you can do this? 2 factorial ways you can do this. If you are using 8 here, you have 3 left out, right? Then you have 2 and 3, still you have 2 factorial ways of doing it. So basically your answer is 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 1, right? So this can be done in 2 factorial ways, this can be done in 2 factorial ways, this can be done in 1 way, because 75 is fixed, right? So your answer is 4. And what are they? What are the numbers? 2, 3, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, 8, 7, 5, right? Because I kept 8, 7, 5 and I interchanged this. Now what I'll do, I'll take 375, right? So it will be 2, 8, 3, 7, 5 and 8, 2, 3, 7, 5. What I'm doing here, I'm keeping this as the last 3 digits. Why? Because only in this case the number is divisible by 25. Right? And this I am interchanging. I hope you understood. So how many ways you can fix this 75? Only 1 way. How many ways you can get this 8? Because you have 2 possibilities, right? 3 and 8. So 2 ways you can get it. How many ways you can get this? Fill this. You have again 2 ways, right? So you multiplying, you have 4 possible ways. Now what is next question? Here you can write n as 54 plus 1 cube, right? Plus 18 minus 1 cube minus 72 cube, or 51 plus 4 cube plus 17 cube, right? Minus 68 plus 4 cube, right? Now if you see the first form is divisible by 3 and the second form is divisible by 17. So you'll mark D as your answer. Okay, this is divisible by 3, this is divisible by 17, so it is divisible by 3 and 17. You will mark D as your answer. Okay, what is the next question? What is given? M and N are numbers which is divisible by 5, and then which of the following is not necessarily true, right? So basically substitute values for M and N here. You can take 10 and 5, the minimum values, because the condition has to be satisfied, right? I'm putting M is equal to 10, N is equal to 5, both are divisible by 5. Now see what is the first one? M minus N, if you see 5, right? Which is divisible by 5. So okay, no problem. Then M square minus N square, this is M minus N, right? Now M square minus N square, if you do 100 minus 25, you'll get 75, which is divisible by 25, no problem. Now M plus N, if you do, you'll get 10 plus 5, that is 15, which is not divisible by 10. So I can mark the answer directly. So your answer for this question is C. Or one more thing that you can keep in mind is, in case of sum of 2 multiples of 5, okay, we are here finding sum of 2 multiples of 5, M and N are multiples of 5, which is divisible by 5, which is given, right? Sum of 2 multiples of 5, when it need to be divisible by 10, okay, 2 numbers must be either odd numbers or 2 numbers must be even numbers. Odd means it should be ending in 5 5, or it should be ending in 0 0. Okay, so you can directly pick C as your correct answer based on this. In this question, what is given is b square minus b, right? And b is greater than or equal to 4, which is also given. Now you need to find a square minus 2a is divisible by which among the following, right? So you just substitute the value of a in this, okay? What you need to do is substitute the value of a, which is already given, b square minus b whole square minus 2 into b square minus b. Now if you do this, you will get b minus 2 into b minus 1 into b plus 1. Now if you use different values where b greater than or equal to 4, we'll find a square minus 2a is divisible by 15, 20 and 24. You can do it manually and you can check it. So all the above is the answer. Okay, if you want, just substitute a is b as 5. Okay, you will get b minus 2, that is 3, b minus 1, that is 4, b is 5, b plus 1, 6, right? So 30 into 4, 120, 120 into 3, 360. Now 360 is divisible by 20, 360 is divisible by 15, 360 is divisible by 24. So that means the number is divisible by all the above, right? Answer for this question is D. Now in this question, 7 raised to 6n minus 6 raised to 6n is divisible by what? Okay, that is what they are asking. So this is a very flexible question. Your answer is given in number. So you just substitute the value. This is a variable 2 number question. You can find it in that way also. So just substitute any value. Okay, just put n is equal to 1. Put n is equal to 1. You will get 7 raised to 6 minus 6 raised to 6. Right. So 7 raised to 6 raised to 7 raised to 6 minus 6 raised to 6 means 7 cube minus 6 cube into 7 cube plus 6 cube. We are just writing it in terms of a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b, right? So this will be a multiple of 7 cube minus 6 cube, which is equal to 127, and it will be a multiple of 7 cube plus 6 cube, which is equal to 559. Okay, so then, and also 7 plus 6, which is equal to 13. So it is a multiple of 127, 559 and 13. So again, all of this is the answer. Answer for this question is again D. So what is the question here? How many even numbers are there which is not divisible by 7 or 9, right? Between, otherwise it is infinity, they have given a range 100 to 200. So basically how many even numbers are there between 100 to 200? How many numbers are there between 100 to 200? 101 numbers are there. Out of that, 51 are even, okay? Now between 100 to 200, so this is between 100 to 200, total numbers is 101. Out of that, 51 even numbers. Now 100 to 200, how many multiples of 7s are there? 14 multiples of 7s are there. You can see that. And out of that, 7 are even. Okay. Now between 100 to 200, how many multiples of 9 are there? 11 multiples of 9 are there, right? Out of that, 6 are even. Okay. So now it's clear, right? So we understood that, so total 51 even numbers are there. So in that 7 numbers are there which is multiple of 7, 6 numbers are there which is multiple of 9. So what we need to do, subtract that, 51 minus 7 minus 6. Now there is one number which is 126, that is also between 100 to 200 only, which is a multiple of 7 and 9, right? But we counted that here also, So what we need to do, we need to subtract 1, right? Why? Because we counted twice. So what you will get? You will get 39. Answer for this question is 39. What you have done, very simple. 100 to 200, how many numbers are there? 101. 51 even numbers are there. We got that. 100 to 200, multiples of 7, 14. Out of that, 7 even multiples are there. 100 to 200, multiples of 9, 11. Out of that, 6 are even. So 51 even numbers are there total. Subtract 7 even multiples of because the 7 even multiples of 7 will be added in 51, so you are avoiding that. The 6 even multiple of 9 we have added here, so we are subtracting that also. But during that process we are double counting this 126, right? So we are adding it back. You get answer as 39. Now this question, from 12 to 40, 12 to 40, how many prime numbers are there? There are 7 prime numbers are there, right? Now the question is over, right? Now you got the answer, right? 7 prime numbers are there: 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37 are the prime numbers. What does this mean? N minus, such that n minus 1 factorial is not divisible by any of them. So answer for this question is 7. Answer for this question is 7. Now next question, 2-digit multiples of 8, you are going to reverse it, right? And then you need to see how many of them are divisible by 4, not by 8, right? So let's see what are the 2-digit multiples of 8. So starting with 16, 8 is not possible because that is 1 digit. 16, then 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96, 104 is 3 digits. So this is what I am looking for. Now if you reverse, out of this, 2 numbers will satisfy the condition which is given. Now if you reverse it, 2 numbers among this will satisfy the condition, 40 and 48. What you are going to do, you reverse it. That is, you get 04. This is divisible by 4, right? Not by 8. 84, that means 48 you are reversing, right? 84 is divisible by 4 but not by 8. Now the numbers satisfy the condition. So your answer for this question is 2. Now what is the question? Which among the following will completely divide the number 106 raised to 90 minus 49 raised to 90? Now one thing that you need to understand is, this is an odd number, right? This is an odd number, so you can directly eliminate B and C. B is not possible, C is not possible because both of them are even numbers. So B and C is over, so your answer is either A or D. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Anyway, we are not going to use it because those who are going to use a trial and error method, or they're going to try their chances, you can now mark among A and D, right? You can eliminate B and C because these two options are even, but the number we can see that this is an odd number, right? Now otherwise, how will you proceed? You know the basic thing, right? A square minus B square is equal to A plus B into A minus B. Or if you want to generalize, A raised to n minus B raised to n is equal to, or if you don't put equal to, it will be divisible by A plus B into A minus B. Okay, A raised to n minus B raised to n must be divisible by A plus B and A minus B. So here, if you see, this is n, so this number must be divisible by 106 plus 49 and 106 minus 49. That means this is 155 and this is 57. Right? Now 157 you can write it as 31 into 5, and 57 you can write it as 19 into 3. Okay, so this number is also divisible by 19 into 31, which is equal to 589. So what's your answer? You can pick 589 as your answer. What we have done nothing. We understood that A raised to n minus B raised to n, so A plus B and A minus B is a factor. If A plus B is a factor, 106 plus 49 will be a factor. If A minus B is a factor, 106 minus 49 will be a factor. So we got these two are factors. So 155 I can write it like 31 into 5. 57 I can write like this. So then 31 into 19 will also be a factor. So I'll take 589 as my answer. So answer for this question is 589, answer option A.